Hello, my name is Koli Tengella. I'm an actor, writer, performer, and activist trying to make the world better, one performance at a time. My family was one of the few African black families. When I say African black, I don't want anybody to get scared. I know I'm a black person born in America, but my whole global perspective is that all African people, regardless of where they are, if they were born in Europe, if they were born in South America, still experience the same kind of oppression through institutionalized racism globally and white supremacy. And I'm finally glad we reached a point in this country where you can say white supremacy and black folk don't get scared and white people don't get offended, because I've been listening to CNN, MSNBC, and there's white women, blonde white women, talking about the evil of white supremacy. So in that regard, we've come a long way where white people will say there is such thing as white supremacy. So my own growth and development and has come from my aptitude with art, writing, performing, acting out of pain. I've learned to be transparent at the age of 55, so whatever I share, I'm comfortable with. I come from a family that had toxic behavior of unhealthiness perpetuated by generations of untreated social trauma. So therefore, my family, there was rampant alcoholism, there has been drug abuse, there has been sexual molestation in my family. I was a recipient and victim of, at that time, sexual molestation as a child by a family member. And because of that, I had tremendously low self-esteem and allowed myself to be bullied by other people within my immediate biological family and within the larger African black community, being a victim of bullying as a child all through elementary school and middle school. It started to change in middle school when I realized I was given an opportunity to perform, and how people, even the people who were bullying me, had respect for me, but then they would go right back to bullying me. He said, yo, man, you on stage doing all that, man, that was good. But anyway, here, smack you upside the head, give me your lunch ticket, I'm gonna take your milk, I'm gonna take your fries, but you were good though, and get up, give me them fries. So that continued for a while. And then in high school, I got an opportunity to appear regularly on television. There used to be before cable, what they used to call the off-brand station. I forgot, it was a channel that's known as now the Fox Network, and a channel called Channel 45. But Channel 45 was the sketchy low-power station at that time that would show cartoons and anime before it was anime, Ultraman show. We're going way back. Ultraman, Marine Boy, and we would watch those shows. But that was considered off-brand television. And they did something connected with the schools called Street Scenes, which was supposed to be a teen-hosted, teen-produced television show. And I went down to audition. Look, my self-esteem was so low. I went down to audition to be a camera person and a writer, because I never felt as though I could contribute anything in front of the camera. So they needed someone to sit in so the camera people could test how to use the camera. And I just faked like I was hosting a news show. And then when I got the break, I got the call. I said, oh, I'm gonna be a camera person, I'm gonna be a writer. And it had my name next to host. Which I was shocked. Pleasantly, it kind of raised my self-esteem at that time. So when I was selected to be a host of the show, I did the show for 3 years. And through several people coming in, there were a few people who went on in broadcasting. There's a young man by the name of Howard Jones who went on to be a major radio anchor. I don't know what he's doing now. He did that professionally for years. I don't know where he is now. He used to be my producer and writer. It gave African black folk an opportunity to grow. but also came with the exposure to white supremacy and expectation. Like, you could be black visually, but you dare not have any dialect, any way of speaking, any sort of nuance that could be perceived as being black at all. They used to call it, well, you sound very urban. Those are code terms. You sound like a black person. And there was a time that they wanted a black face, but they basically wanted the sound, a mode internally being white. That was the broadcast norm. And back then, you could throw out a brother who was a legend, Max Robinson, who used to be the only African black anchor. I think it was NBC News, who passed in the late 80s. He was legendary. Here in Baltimore, there used to be a brother everybody knew, Jerry Turner's partner, a gentleman by the name of Al Sanders, who was legendary here in Baltimore until he died. And it's amazing. I met him once, and I could tell the duality. It's like he wanted to inspire me and be very radio-like, but he also wanted to like drop knowledge on me as an older black man, where you could see some dialects. He said, "What's up, young brother?" The same thing. And he would address the white kids who would be there waiting and say, "Hello, young lady. Hello, young man." He said, "What's up? What's up?" Yeah, just enough to let me know, I want you to know that I'm an African black person like you, but in here, I can't still be, as a grown man who's being paid hundreds of $1,000s, really show internally who I am. And even that thing, I thought that was absolutely awful to be kind of limited in that regard. So I want to bring this all home in my own personal journey. So it was through performing that my self-esteem began to rise from being a sexual molestation victim to a young African black man with some talent and ability. And then it was also through coming in contact with people who were really embracing of African history and culture that I realized that I come from a tremendous legacy. And then my only recourse was not just to be a figurehead or a speaker box for someone else's ideas, that I can empower and inform. And so I'm jumping around, I did a lot of things within there. I became a stand-up comic when originally all I wanted to do was become the first African black Walt Disney, because I still draw and sketch at this very time. So I wanted to do that. And then because of my low self-esteem, I got involved in theatrical makeup. There was a legendary white makeup artist named Dick Smith. He did the makeup for the original Exorcist film. And he put out the Dick Smith prosthetic makeup kit. And I begged my mother, get me that. Some black kids, I want bicycles, basketball, the hottest shoes. I wanted this white man's makeup kit. So I got into that. And so I realized two things. People love people who either strangely scare them to death or make them laugh. So before I got into the comedy thing, I did the makeup artist thing. And so when in the basement, I was finally clearing out things out of the house. We're gonna make it into a rental property now. I found photographs of me at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old being with the makeup creations I've done. And I'm gonna say, it wasn't that bad. I remember one time almost killing a friend of mine in the basement because I wanted to cover his face with plaster of Paris to be a face mask, and you had to put the straws up the nose, and oh God. And they're coming down. I couldn't tell if he was not breathing or not, so I kept pushing the straws up his nostrils. So it coming down. And he was telling me he was all right. I had worked out all the hand signals. So he didn't die. I didn't kill him. And then we went on to create the makeup. But the crazy things you do. Other kids are doing stuff like with firecrackers. I'm accidentally smothering my best friend in plaster of Paris in the basement. All that comes about from me searching for love and learning to embrace myself. So a lot of folk know that my birth name, and I got real clever with this, not to disrespect who I am or my family. My birth name is not Koli Tengella. It's a name that, watch this, instead of saying, I took back. See, I took my name back from my misinformed ancestors, my mother and my father, and for generations who were taken from their culture. So I have, since I've become aware, you know the old black saying, when you know better, you do better. So I took back my name when I began to travel to Africa, Senegal in particular. And I was given this name, Koli Tengella, who I found out was rather apropos. He was a great West African king. His claim to fame was this, great military strategist. When Arabs came in promoting Islam and white Europeans came in promoting Christianity, and you had to either say, I become a Christian or a Muslim, or they will kill you. So he sent message throughout his kingdom when he started invading his kingdom. He said, just tell them that you're Muslim. Just tell them that you're Christian until I get there and I kill them. So his whole thing, he said, people, hold on, I'm coming. So he built this empire and fighting against white European encroachment using religion as Christianity, white European assault on the culture by using, Arab encroachment by using Islam. He just told black people, sit there, pray to their God, and then I will come and kill them. And that he would give them a choice, leave my kingdom, come on into my kingdom, or get out, or the last one, you die. So he built a tremendous nation. He ruled for almost 50, 60 years. And so that name was given to me. And I sort of like the way I've been evolving. And you reach an age, white folks would say, you reach of a certain age where you become fearless in a lot of ways. Like you said, and you look back on your youth, and I'm 55, and I'm looking back when I was 30 and 40, and there was still fear of truly embracing who I am. And I wonder why. And since I've become more comfortable with who I am as an African black person globally, and understanding who I am and what I'm capable of and what we all are, and connecting with other folks, things have gotten so much better in terms of me understanding. Understanding, like, I'm down, I'm African all the way, Pan-Africanist, global empowerment, Marcus Garvey, Ungawa, Black Power. But there's other black folk who still on the Negro level. And you don't hate on a brother or sister who's on a Negro level, because, being on a Negro level in America, you get paid. But you still will wake up in the reality that you're black once the white supremacist culture has used you. Look at sister girl Omarosa. Fine as she can be. Lord, break my heart. But she reached a point where she realized she was being used because she was black. She was being used because she was a woman. She was using because she was an attractive black woman. And then when it was no longer any purpose for her, she was discarded. But they forgot you were dealing with a sister who knew the grimy people she was dealing with, regardless of whether or not that the captain of griminess was the president. So she was prepared. So she taped and recorded and took pictures, and people are surprised. Well, other black folks sitting back there saying, she knew what was up. She was riding that train. She knew what was up, and she knew that she had to protect herself. And you'll see soon on a sinking ship, what's old saying, what leaves the ship first when a ship is sinking? A particular kind of large rodent. And so the ship is sinking, those large rodents start to jump off. And you'd be surprised at how many other people, the attorney for our current president, he has tapes. There'll be a lot of other people with videotapes and documents that were supposed to be shredded. But I'm bringing it home in terms of my own personal development. Understanding the level of corruption in the world, I've learned that in order to, you can't give people straight truth that hard. I use the guise of humor and entertainment to educate people. Like Sesame Street, they've got characters that have HIV and kids love them. They've got characters who have physical challenges and kids love them, and showing that just because someone's in a wheelchair, just because someone looks physically different, just because someone has a disease, but when you educate people through humor and you show puppets playing, that could translate to your personal life, and also the acceptance of difference. So Sesame Street did it, and I learned as a comic, I can do it as well. I can get up and talk about white folks and as a dog and them being racist and everything, and they will howl and laugh at the ridiculousness of it. But if I come out straight and give them the Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan rendition, which should be respected, which any man or woman should be able to do, they will be repulsed by it because I do it under the guise of jokes. They can get to see that it's out of fear. It's out of ignorance. It's out of stupidity, viewing people as less than because of their race, because of their gender, because of their sexuality. And even as a black person, a heterosexual black man, I learned a new term called cisgendered, because I also teach a theater program that tries to educate through performance. And I have several young people, young African black folk who are gay, lesbian, transgendered, bisexual, non-binary. I had to learn all that myself as a 50-year-old black man. I'm 55 now. And learning that there's a powerful personal pronoun. If you were born one gender and you realize you're not that gender, does it hurt me as a black person who knows about oppression, discrimination, to refer to you with the pronoun of she or he if it makes you feel affirmed? And how many times have we as African black people been called the N-word, and then we tried to think we could flip it by calling each other the N-word and try to polish it? And then I learned this from a white person. He said, no disrespect, but how can you change the meaning of the word when y'all didn't create it? It was created by white people. They said, white folks, we own that word. The only person who can stop it is for white people. You know, you don't own that word. You can try to say whatever you want. And it's saying, I'm jumping around, about sexism. Women, it hurts me as a man to see other women refer to each other in terms of a bee and think it's empowering. I'm a bee. And better yet, you see people's tags on social media. I'm the baddest bee. I'm the queen bee. But then again, I've heard, particularly among African black women, it also hurts me that I can't stand being around a lot of women, and don't even refer to them as women as humans. Females. Reduce them to a female chicken or a female, just females. I said, well, aren't you a woman? So do you hate yourself too? The same thing with African black men. You know, calling each other the N-word, and also black men viewing each other as immediate adversaries. Walk into a room, don't let it be a job interview. You scan out, yeah, I'm taller than him. No, I'm more light-skinned, I'm pretty. I got light-skinned face. My student taught me this called light-skinned face. Light-skinned face is this. Light-skinned is like stereotypical music video look. Light-skinned face, here you go. That's light-skinned face. You got bob your head, kind of gently lick your lips. I'm light-skinned and I'm better than you. So, because meaning that people who resemble more like white folk are more attractive, more intelligent, better looking, you want to be like. And that's all the messages that roll into it. So I use humor and entertainment to get people to see the ridiculousness of that and to begin to view people as simply human beings and that we all deserve respect. I'm learning about the whole thing with mental health challenges now. I have so many young people I work with, people in my family, because of the generations of undiagnosed trauma. Like, just talk about your great, this being kidnapped, walking around, going to work, doing what they're doing. Some other black people, white people hop out, knock you upside the head. You wake up on a boat, you're torn away from your family. You're lying inside of a box on your back with other people's feces and urine dripping out on you for 3 months. Get tossed out. You get felt on like an animal. Then some people sell you off. And then they give you a name like they name a cat or a dog. And then you never see your family again and you're disconnected. When there's a bank robbery, or if there's a train wreck or a plane crash, immediately they said we got to get people in counseling and the therapy. There's never been therapy for African black people from suffering through institutionalized chattel slavery. We never got a chance to heal. Even when we were supposedly set free in this country, nobody took us to a therapist. Nobody even gave us a hug, say we sorry for your pain and your misery. And so we walked around that. And some scientists now believe that that pain and trauma can be passed down genetically, that our whole physiology as human beings on a DNA molecular level is, my students say, furred, messed up from it, and that we even pass it to our children in the next generation because we haven't healed from it. So you're probably thinking, well, Tengella, you think your jokey jokes can heal that? I think my jokey jokes can begin the process of making people aware that these issues do exist and not to be dismissed.
My name's Mark, I'm an alcoholic.
Dorothy T, and I am an alcoholic.
For so long, alcohol has sort of been there for me to sort of see me through social situations.
Drinking was more important than anything else.
My journey in AA started years ago when I reached the outside limits of my desperation.
I really wanted to quit drinking, I just couldn't stop on my own. And you know, I remember when I woke up on the day that I got sober, I felt something inside of me tell me that I could go to AA.
These people, you know, just gathered around me. That was the fellowship in action in my life.
The moral of my story today is that AA has never let me down, ever.
If I carry any sort of message with my story, it's that, you know, keep coming back and that this thing does work.
If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works.
Like, I have a problem with the white women's Me Too movement, but I understand when everything first begins, it has mistakes. There are going to be some innocent people get jacked up for nothing just because I said, oh, sister, oh, young lady, you look beautiful today. And what you mean? Complimenting me on my physical appearance. How dare you do that? I feel assaulted and abused. There are going to be mistakes with that, but eventually it become equilibrium where misogyny and sexism will be dismantled, taken apart. The same thing with understanding the residual effects of generational trauma, and particularly of African black people, that even when an African black person speaks the truth, the fear of being punished by white supremacy scares them. Have you ever noticed when black people are really talking about something that what needs to be done to this, okay, you know, notice that black people start whispering? Ain't no white people around, but we have been psychologically trained. White people got magical power. They got drones and that sense and scan. If an African black person is thinking independently and self-empowering that they're going to do horrible stuff, you say like that, yeah, I think that black people, we should have our own political party that will advocate for us. And inside some secret white layer, alarms go off. Diminish this person's credit. They will be fired from their job. They won't get a promotion. Their credit won't go through. That's going to happen. And so even with no white people around, black folks in their own living room, yeah, because white folks do this, and we better stop. And even, I had one buddy, he even started looking around in his own house. What you looking for? And that's the level of the power that we've been indoctrinated to even fear, almost deify white people. And I'm gonna say, in all white people, there's some powerful white allies who are working to dismantle white supremacy, because white supremacy affects white people. Because there's only one definition of whiteness: waspy, Anglo-Saxon, Christian white people. You can't be no Czechoslovakian white person. Yeah, my name is Slimo Shlomo, and I believe making America great again. Making of no, you're not the right white person. You gotta change your name. Ain't no Slimov, it's Steven. Ain't no Shlomo. It's Allen. It's Richards. Become the right white person, and we might flow with you. So even racism limits white people for even being white, because there's only one definition of whiteness that's going to be accepted. And currently that kind of whiteness is sitting up in the White House. But I even think white people can see in the blatancy of what's happening, how horrible it is. It used to be a time where only black folks would get embarrassed when a black person would be on television acting a fool, I said, oh Lord, he on there. Like when Flavor Flav had his TV show, everybody was like, oh Lord, Lord. Oh God, he gonna set black people back. They're gonna take away the Voting Rights Act. They're gonna reinstate slavery. We're gonna have to pick cotton again because this ignorant buffoon is out here. I believe white folks are feeling the same way about Donald Trump. Oh Lord, they're not gonna let us run no more countries. Oh God, he's gonna ruin things for all good white people. I won't ever be able, shoot, I can't do the Kiki dance no more in front of my black friends. Oh my God. So that they're feeling that pain too. But you can use humor. You can use entertainment. You can use film. You can use the internet. You can use social media for more than showing what food you just bought. I don't know where that came from. I enjoy food. I'm a foodie. But I'm not going to be there's someone in your crew does that. I'm not going to be so petty as to tease other people when I'm about to smash some shrimp, a crab cake, and a baked potato. I ain't gonna say, ooh, look what I'm gonna eat as you sit there eat your ramen noodles. Yeah, but don't disrespect ramen noodles, because we as African black folk, we can hook them up. You know what I'm saying? Get some onions, drop an egg in there, bam. What you go there, do it, put in, get some some smoked turkey, cold cut meat, stim it in, and you got to put the universal. Hit it with some hot sauce. Shoot, don't get me going on hot sauce. Shoot, if I could get away with putting that on my cornflakes, I would have hot sauce on my cornflakes, boy. Certain stuff don't even taste right unless it got some hot sauce. You say, why it taste so bland? Oh, I need some hot sauce. And if you're raised on the East Coast of the United States, it has to be, they should pay me. It has to be Louisiana Crystal hot sauce. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been running my mouth. Excuse me. Do you have any questions, young man?
So now the interview. First question.
When OSI, which stands for Open Society Institute, founded by white billionaire George Soros, as a way, I don't know whether it was his white guilt, I don't know whether or not it was him realizing that he, even though he's a billionaire, because he wasn't the white kind of white person, that it was some kind of fluke that he became a billionaire, that he realized there were barriers. He said, I'm a white man, I'm a billionaire, but people still disrespect me. Kind of like before Barack, I'm the president of the United States, you still gonna yell at me? You still gonna shake your hand in my face? even though I've got the power to send a predator drone to your house and make you and your whole family disappear? You know, so George Soros began to realize that maybe there's some truth to classism. And if there's classism, there's racism. And if there's racism, there's sexism. And so people are being locked out because of the color of their skin and their gender. So he said, what can I do about it? And then he realized, oh, hell, I'm rich. I can give money out and won't take away from me. I didn't apply. I heard about when I first got here. I had people, mentors of mine, who applied and got it. And it took me almost 8-10 years to apply with the same idea I received it for, the fellowship for, the same idea I had 8 years ago. So I intentionally retarded my whole growth and development based on that fear that my idea wasn't worthy. I self-imposed myself, retarded my own spiritual, intellectual, economic growth because of the fear that I had been internalized and indoctrinated into. The same idea, using theater and filmmaking to educate, to break down barriers, and as a social entrepreneurship tool. And that began to do it. And when I applied, but also looking at it, it was the right time because I had ingrained in my being where I could spit my facts, my information, my plan by living it, teaching it, seeing how it impacted young people. But also I learned that people worry about the kids, and we should worry about children. But also children are more impacted by us as adults. If our minds are messed up, kids will be in a wonderful program, a wonderful school, and they will go home to their families who still believe in that toxic unhealthiness belief system. So we got to bring everybody up. So now I get the parents of my children to perform with them. I bring in clinicians, African, Black, white, European clinicians on a secular level to give basic therapeutic techniques of healing in the performances. Because we all got pain. And I've even seen it with myself, where if you don't love yourself, if you don't believe you can do something, if you're replaying the same message, the same show of your own inability to be successful, to be a good human being, that you're not worthy, you're not worthy of a partner in your life who will support you. Yo, you just need to keep dating people that bring you down and say you can't do nothing, irregardless if the sex is good. You know, good sex with bad people hold a lot of people back. You know, bad people who are good, they should only be allowed to give you bad sex. You won't stay with them that long.
We're always ready for action.
We can do it in 2 minutes.
Now, when I was in high school, I couldn't do it in 2 minutes. By the time I got to college, 2 minutes was a cinch.
I really like it when a guy can do it in under 2 minutes.
The key to my marriage is doing it in under 2 minutes.
I can do it in 2 minutes.
I can do it in less than 2 minutes.
I can do it in under 2 minutes myself, and with my boyfriend.
Each year, the Red Cross responds to 66,000 disasters.
Most of them are home fires.
Most of them are home fires.
Ooh.
I know. Whoa.
7 people die each day on average from home fires.
7 people.
A day.
That's way too many people.
You can save your life and your family's life.
Make an escape plan.
Make an escape plan.
Make an escape plan.
It's critical that everyone can get out in under 2 minutes. I can get from my bedroom to my front door in less than 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes.
I can take my shirt off, pour glitter all over myself, and still do it in 2 minutes.
Called my mom the other day, told her I did it in under 2 minutes. She was so proud.
1.5.
What? There's no way.
Yeah.
Check your smoke alarms monthly to make sure they're working properly.
Smoke alarms cut your risk of death or injury in half.
Half? It's 50%.
This little guy, cutting it in half.
And if it's beeping at you, don't rip it out of the wall. Give it a battery, you know? Make it happy so it can help you get out of the house in time.
Make sure to visit redcross.org/2steps, 2 minutes.
2 steps.
2 minutes.
2 steps, 2 minutes.
Visit the link below to find out more.
Wherever it is.
Not there. Right here.
So, developing, understanding the opportunities that could occur. You know, you need time. Also, if somebody had schooled me like this when I was like 15, there's a lot of beautiful, physically beautiful, but emotionally traumatized young women that I would have known to walk away from. There would have been, if you calculate the amount of money that you blew between the time you really started working, let's say around from 18 to 30, and what you could have done with that money. Because in my generation, bro, I was just about, you gotta get the right jeans on, gotta get the right kicks. It was at the beginning where tennis shoes were becoming the icon it was. All the chips and the soda, and don't let the first time you want to go to an adult place, when you become legal, able to drink, you want to flash out, you buying drinks for your whole crew and everything. That's the amount of money you just waste. And the amount of money you wasted on people that you don't even like now. You don't even talk to them no more. I saw somebody, I was looking at that fool. I fronted you money when we went out. We don't even talk. I don't even like you. Give me back my money. All the times, oh man, you got me. Oh man, I left my money. I said, I got you, man. I got you, yo. Pre-dummy. I got you, yo. So you look back on, all that. All the money, I could have owned like 10 houses on the amount of money I blew between 18 and 30. 10 houses, that still be making me money right now. Because people always need a place to live, even bad, ignorant people. They need a place to live. So, those are the experiences that you got to learn. I wish somebody had to school me on that. Just taking the time. And as an African black person, understand, yeah, you can own a house, you can rent it out.
Anxiety has affected me since really the beginning. I was dealing with this all by myself. I was totally isolated. Nobody knew.
Everybody loved Shelby. She was a straight-A student, but a year ago, my sister lost her life to suicide.
I know that my girlfriend struggled really hard with telling people she had this issue. She could hardly tell me. It hurts me because I feel like a lot of my friends have struggled with not being able to admit that they're dealing with these issues.
The last school year, there were 4 teen suicides that happened in Palo Alto. That really sent our entire community into a shock.
Help us mind our future.
Let's tag it, tweet it,
Share it.
Instagram it.
Let's snap it.
Me importa el futuro.
I think that social media is a very powerful tool for spreading these issues in a way that's approachable and also really powerful. These personal stories can become almost anthems or just rallying points for other people who feel the same thing.
I did attempt suicide and I tried to end my life, but I bounced back. I'm really thankful that I saw that post because they might not think that they're helping me, but I really appreciated it so much.
Shelby, I guess, never really felt that comfortable coming out and saying to us, I've been really sad. I think, there's something I need to do here.
If you take that step, take that initiative to reach out, tell someone that you're struggling, it can make the biggest difference.
I'm starting the conversation.
I'm posting about mental health.
I'm ending the stigma.
We're socializing hope.
I like that.
Me importa el futuro.
Together, we can bring change to mind.
I think ending the stigma is the only way to start the conversation and have people feel comfortable enough. They can talk about it, they can seek help.
Show us what you're doing to start the conversation and end the stigma.
I didn't want to talk about it earlier. Why would I want to seem like this sad sack? Those are all the lies that I told myself. It's like, oh, if I talk about this, even professionally with my job, if I talk about this, people won't want to watch me. It's not important enough. And even now, as I'm hearing myself saying all those things, like, wow, man, I really wish that I would have spoken out earlier, because there's nothing like being able to shine a light on those secrets. Those secrets kill. The secret of keeping all that to yourself and putting on that mask that'll eat away at you daily. It ate away at me daily. It's difficult for men in general, I think, because of just the way that we're raised. You feel any of the negative emotions or that dark cloud settle on you, and you feel like you need to cry out or speak to someone about it. No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm a man. What kind of man would I sound like if I told somebody, hey, I'm so sad. I'm cripplingly sad. I can't get out of bed. I feel empty. Help me. Psst, I would be some sissy. I'd be soft. That's what you're taught. That's what you were programmed. And that's what kills us. So in speaking about it on ET and being honest, folks have come out of the woodwork. People that I haven't heard from in years, complete strangers, a ton of mostly on Twitter and on Facebook and social media. That's been an amazing gauge of all the love, and so many people, it's echoed the exact same sentiment. Thank you so much for speaking, because I felt that I couldn't.
I had so many people talk about me not having a real job or borrow money from my non-existent self. Like, you can't even go to a bank. You come to me. I don't have no real job. But I said, here's my non-real money, my not real money that you're borrowing to pay your real bills out in your real bill paying self. But I don't have a real job though. And one time, this sister I was seeing lent some money. Asked for it. I said, pay it back. She said, I ain't paying you back nothing. Ain't nothing that you can do about it too. Everybody know how you are, caring about the black community. You know, I'm struggling out here with 4 kids and everything. And everybody would believe that you would have gave me the money anyway. Said, everybody believe I told him, hey, I don't owe him that money. He gave it to me because he knew I was a struggling black woman. You know, all the SHIT he be talking. I said, she actually said that to me. Yeah.
You're not professional. Like, oh, really? But I got this paycheck you need, though, in this back pocket of mine. Like I said,
that broke my heart. That broke my heart. But I had a fraternity brother. Well, this the kicker. Like, there's a kicker. No, it's not one of the ones. You know, this is kind of a social fraternity. It's called Beta Omega Epsilon. This ain't like the more established kind. We don't emulate, mimic canines or nothing. Yeah. So, yeah, but I just wish that more of those institutions, fraternities, sororities, they have the ability to be such a powerful force, economic independence and empowerment. And for some reason, they choose not to step into their greatness straight up. You got to act, you can do it. With all them big meetings you have and everything, imagine if you just went to one African-owned venue that may not be that posh, gave it the money, and then invest in it, fix it up the way you want, the fancy, the pinnacle of white lookingness establishment, and then everybody went to it. That's what I'm talking about. How many folk can you employ? And then you should get real progressive and give brothers and sisters coming out of incarceration or who have 2 to 5 years sobriety from drug use, give them a chance and empower them too. The power that we naturally have, but we're so afraid of it. And I don't understand why one black African person could mess up in your life with your money and you swear off black people for life. You won't even do business with yourself. You won't even lend you money to you. Like, I ain't gonna give you, Koli, I ain't gonna give you this $5, cause I know I ain't never gonna get it back. You know, you gonna give yourself money. But white folks or the dominant culture can burn you every day forever. I guess I'm going back here to this bank and let them hit me with more of these late fees that I don't deserve and mess up my mortgage because I was $1 short. We'll do that forever. But let one brother, sister mess up. Our black folks are trifling forever. So we need to work on that issue. I would write a sketch, write a scene that would show something, use humor, or show it visually. Like what I'm trying to do now in my own personal life, I want to be a good ally to African black women by not being misogynistic. I'm really working on that because I have an amazing daughter. I have a beautiful, amazing wife. I have amazing young women that I teach, and it would tear my heart out if my wife or daughter or the students ever came to tell me that some man or young man said something inappropriate to them or physically thought they could violate their own physical body and touch them without permission, or they're getting paid thousands of dollars less than a male counterpart. You know, that would really hurt me. And also, I even check my friends now in conversations when they start spitting the B term, particularly towards their girlfriend and their wife, just because they mad at the moment. Yeah, but if I called your girlfriend or your wife a B when you're not mad, you know, you want to put me to sleep. But it's okay for you to do that just because you're mad. Just say you mad, you upset with her. She get on your nerves, she make you sick. But don't call her a B just because you're mad. Don't call her a psycho B. Just think her behavior is crazy. You don't like that behavior. And also say that she hurt your feelings. You try to get a brother, a black man, to admit that his feelings are hurt. First of all, you got to get a black man to admit he got some feelings, that we got feelings, you know? And right out here, I taught students who seen their best friends murdered in front of them. And they said, you know, that's the code of the street. I said, but did you talk to anybody about it? How'd you hurt? Yeah, it hurt me real bad. That was my man. We grew up together. But I said, but have you cried about it? Have you mourned over him? No, because I ain't no B. So the feelings are associated with being feminine, and femininity is viewed as a form of weakness, but yet and still, almost cisgendered heterosexual men pursue women for sexual intimacy, will do crazy things. You know, any black man, any black boy out here who said they haven't done something stupid for the loving of a black woman, you know, if they say they haven't done it, they lying. They lying. I ate sushi. I hate fish, and particularly raw fish. I sat there and ate sushi to be sophisticated to get with a sister once, and then couldn't get with her because I was sick as a dog, throwing up, had stuff coming out the top and the bottom. So taking that, even showing what is true love, creating a sketch or a scene, a short video, posting something up on Instagram and said, what, you know, I may do this later on today. What have you done? What stupid thing have you done for the love of a black woman? And watch men post up. They're gonna be honest, there'll be some crazy stuff. And they did ask the question, do you still know or see her now? You know, so using that, what is true love? What is psychological freedom? You know, my whole goal has been being able to sit down with a white person, particularly a white man, and feel no sense of inferiority. I'm 55 years old. I got some amazing accomplishments, and I still have a little bit of I'm not worthiness or I'm not good as when I sit down and have a conversation with a white man. And I call that my inner slave. And I'm either gonna heal, I can't kill my inner slave. He said, I wanna kill him. No, I wanna heal him. I wanna embrace him. I wanna bring him into the light out of ignorance. And I never really understood, there's a statue, is it Booker T. Washington? I don't know what HBCU it's at. Is it Tuskegee, where Booker T is pulling back a sheet, a cloak, like out of ignorance, and there's a black person like this, looking into the truth, into wisdom, into knowledge. And that's what I gotta do with my own inner slave. And that's what I wanna do with my own inner misogynistic, sexist self. Because I used to act like, because I was abused, I never, as a child, I knew stuff was wrong, but in order for me to be accepted by other young black men or men in general, I would like pile on just to get accepted. Yeah, you see that girl there? Oh, she's a fat MF. Or she, man, I'll tear that B. Or she's a smart mouth B. She need to get dragged, or, you know, this or that. And I said, yeah, I would go like this. Yeah, you're right. She's a B. She's a B. Accept me as your friend. Can I hang up with you? Because I want to be a man. Because I want to, yeah, she's a B. Oh, yeah. Everybody's a B. Every woman, every black woman's a thought. Every black woman's a B until it comes to your mama. Oh, Lord. Don't let somebody say that about your mama. Oh, Lord, no. But you will say this about future mamas. You will say this about other people's mamas. You will disrespect your beautiful black African teacher in the classroom. But let somebody say something about your mama, it's on. And that's the only time you realize that using that language, that misogynistic, evil language, is unhealthy. So creating a scene like that. I want to believe in myself enough to take my vision and talent to another level, kind of like what you wonderful people are doing. I believe there's an audience and there's a market about the things we've just been talking about. Black folk, people of color, black women, learning about that, understand there's an audience to tell those stories so we can grow as black African people. Get rid of sexism, get rid of the homophobia. Black men get in tune to our feelings, realizing there's nothing to be ashamed of, to be able to cry and express your pain. You're not a punk, you're not weak, you're not soft. So taking those experiences and documenting them. So the next step is to write a book with like humorous anecdotes about the subjects we just discussed. Do some more performing and public speaking, and then hopefully selling the book, creating some digital programming where people can go to a site or subscribe to. If other people, there's a lot of things, we pay for apps, some people pay for apps on their phone, not a free app. They pay a little fee on a monthly basis. But what about what you all are doing, what I would like to do? And let's say for $2 a month or $2.99 a month, and if you got, they would get a half-hour digital program. Imagine if you got just 3,000 people at $2.99 a month coming in. That you can pay yourself something decent. That's a small production studio, small staff. Yeah, and get like one of them little coffee machines. You pop in a little cup and everything. Yeah. Hook up a deal. Be bringing in bagels and donuts and everything. Orange juice. Yeah. So, and then look at all the empty buildings around most urban cities. Huge plots of land, fire stations, schools. Tear down some walls, you got a nice production facility. Building sitting there dilapidated, and the city should be happy that they're just getting the property tax on the joint. Get the property tax on the joint. So they should, so they lease it to you for like the first 2 years, like $1. As long as you pay the property tax, the city gets it. So there's a way of finagling those deals. So that's the next thing, believing in myself enough to believe that there must be other folk who experience this. There's other folk. I don't know. Are there any people out in this world who got pain and trauma? any people of color that have been abused and oppressed, any women that's been discriminated against and marginalized, any gay and queer folk of color or any persuasion been abused, right down there, just with that, there's hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people that might be willing and curious about what I have to say through it, through humor, through storytelling and performance, or just carrying on a conversation. So to get that started, to make that happen is the next step. And I've learned from the young people I teach that what we carry around in our hand, the power of the present day cell phone, is a tremendous springboard to create wealth. Wealth that's independent. As long as you can create it and get in with the carriers, just like YouTube does it. They can be, a black tube or a me tube or anybody's tube or anybody's TV, or that can charge a small fee. I've got young people who hop around all through their phones and could not literally live without it. If they get a notification, I'm teaching, I'm lecturing, modeling performance in my class, and my phone may happen to ring. And my young people, almost like Pavlov's dog, will look at the phone like this. And look at me. And then look at me like, aren't you going to answer your phone? You got to answer your phone. Why they go through with y'all? That's rude not to answer your phone, Mr. Tengella. You need to answer your phone. People calling, that's disrespectful. Don't sometimes you feel like you just want to touch your phone, stroke your phone? It's my phone. I need my phone. I have kids in my class do this. If the charge gets low, they be like this, Mr. Tengella, please, can I charge my phone? It's on 12%. Help my phone, don't let my phone die. Don't let my phone die, Mr. Tengella, please. Please. You messed up. My phone just went off. You killed my phone. Why did you let my phone die? So there's some issues. It's a phone. Plug it back in, it come back to life. It has a memory. It'll reboot. The pics will still be there. And guess what? You get surprised. Then the time that your phone been out, ooh, you would have got new messages. Then you can look through the new texts and the new notifications on your Facebook and your Instagram and your Snap. Ooh. And kids don't know nothing about LinkedIn. That's like Snap for old people. Snap for the old. I even got this thing. What is? Want to check me out on my Insta Snap? Did Instagram and Snapchat hook up and have a child, and their name is InstaSnap? Yeah, so I've been through that. So I'm saying take it to the next level. Use the same social media. You can do good with social media, but then also advocate. We got to change the whole structure where people who make money shouldn't be what we aspire to. We should aspire to use our power and influence to change the policy. I'll be willing to make less money to make sure that society is better. Because if the society is better, that means everybody's going to be better. That means there wouldn't be nobody trying to take my money from me because they're being taken care of. So that's the hope and the dream. And in fact, that's my little Jiminy Cricket optimistic point of view of how the world can be. Just like Sesame Street. Everybody, come on. Sunny day. Yeah. All right, turn up on that. Whoop, whoop, look at my day. Oh, sunny day.